This episode of the Brown Park Podcast is presented by Grow Clinics. If you're ready to take control of your hair health and your confidence, visit growclinics.com.au.
Checking 1, 2.
Christo and Dion are being viciously mediocre on the Brown Park Podcast.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good evening and good night.
And good night, good morning as well.
Depends on where anybody's listening to this show from.
Or if you're still listening.
Yeah. Welcome to 2025.
Yay. What a year we're in for.
Are we?
Let's hope this year ends better than last year ended for me anyway.
Yeah, well, you almost died. So we'll unpack that. Hang on.
We don't need to do that. We unpacked it before. It's all positive this year.
So how are you feeling going into 2025 considering you were meters away from death?
Still working through it.
Yeah.
I did have a meeting with my kidney doctor, renal guy, the other day, and he said everything's back to baseline now. So
your anal guy?
My anal guy. He said my anal is back to a baseline.
So what does that mean?
Yeah.
So everything's healing?
Everything's back to where it should be, pretty much.
Okay, so if you missed the story of Dion, almost died, sepsis and something else. Cellulitis. And you can hear about it on the previous episode, the last one for last year. But going into New Year with new you.
New year, new me.
Oh, God.
Hashtag.
I hate that.
Well, New Year, new you. You've started on a health journey as well now.
Oh, yeah. I'm a cliche. I decided that I needed to lose a few kilos because I've just entered my dark era.
Into your 50s. Ooh.
Jesus
You know,
Christ.
you can use APIA now, Australian Pensioners Insurance.
Do you know that I got my bowel centre kit the other day?
Did you?
They sent, I haven't got the kit yet, but they've sent me the letter saying, congratulations, you're now 50. Let us scrape your innards.
No, let's poo on a stick.
Yeah. So they said expect it in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to do it.
Well, of course you should.
Yeah.
I mean, as somebody that went through an experience recently, life can just beat you down pretty quick.
Right.
So poo on that stick and have fun doing it.
Anyway, yes, I've started a health journey. Oh, look, I'm such a cliche. I've started the man shake.
That's good. Look, it's not a cliche. You're taking control of your health. So how's it going? Have you dropped any kegs?
I haven't been on it for long enough to drop many things. Well, I did. I did like a week on it, and then I had my 50th blowout, and that was a couple of days of just
fair call.
Yeah, ridiculousness. And now I'm back on it again.
Well, let's just say, I mean, you've gone 50 years without doing it, so one more day of debauchery ain't going to make a lick of difference.
Right? It's really not. Coming off the back of last year with you, I think it was one of those moments where I've kind of gone, ooh, I'm now on the dark side of 50.
True.
I probably have, it sounds so morbid, but I probably got less in the tank going forward than what I do going backwards.
True. Yeah.
So
you're past the half of the halfway period of your life.
Yeah, so I just sort of thought, what measures can I take to try to increase
your longevity?
My longevity.
Vitality?
Yeah. One of which would be, I did all my bloods and everything not so long ago, and they said it's all good.
Said you're superhuman?
Not quite. But yeah, said they were, all the things that ticked right and needed to be ticked right.
So then you don't need a diet. Everything's perfect.
No, I need to lose a little bit of weight around the belly. As most men do.
See, that's a problem. When women won't understand this pain. I mean, I don't think women really appreciate the struggle that us men go through, because when we hit a certain age, I mean, and look,
please direct your complaints directly to Dion.
I don't think women appreciate how much pain and suffering a man actually goes through.
Don't even.
Us men, after like 45, even maybe, I don't even start at late 30s, all their weight goes to our belly first.
Yeah.
And it's the hardest part to lose.
It is, and it's the most dangerous part to have.
What is it?
Oh yeah.
Why?
Because
you can't see your dick anymore.
because
you can't assess if you've got
but you it can become hard fat, and that's really bad. Don't say anything, and that can be really bad for your heart. The more belly weight that you carry around there, the harder it is on your heart.
Didn't know that.
Yes, so that's why you should try and lose your belly fat.
Yeah,
by doing the man shake. Unsponsored plug.
Could
Not
be
a sponsored plug. But yeah, it's I don't know, it's tasty.
That's good.
Doing it.
So you don't have breakfast, you don't have lunch or whatever. You just have a shake.
So last time I did it badly, and I felt like
what?
And
you half-assed it?
I half-assed it, and I didn't research it properly, and I was starting to feel faint and sick.
Ooh.
So what you've got to do is the best time to help, and this goes for any of the shakes. What you do is you have like a 8 a.m. shake, and then you have like a protein hit at like 11 o'clock, like an egg or chicken or something.
No carbs, just like a bit of...
just protein.
I can help you with that. Just takes 3 minutes to whip up. Go on.
You're on fire today.
I am.
And then you have your next protein shake at like 1:30.
Mm-hmm.
And then another 3-minute Dion special at about 5.
So more protein?
About 4, 5.
Might take 5 minutes in the afternoon.
And then dinner.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And what's for dinner? Is it about watching the carb levels?
Yeah, I try not to, plow into dinner and have, blow out the entire
big pasta
day.
or something like that.
No.
Yep. Okay. Good.
Yeah. This is all part of the excitement of turning 50.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Can we talk about neighbours for a second?
Why do you want to do that as we speak?
Because we're currently recording this episode from my dining room table. And my neighbours have been on a 24-hour bender.
Mm.
And it's still going.
And it's the full bass. It's a
I don't know whether you can hear it, but they've been out there for over 24 hours. It was somebody's birthday party.
Yep.
They sang happy birthday 3 times throughout the night. And woke up this morning and they're still going. Half the house had to sleep down the other end of the house so they couldn't hear it.
Mm.
I'm partially deaf and old, so I didn't hear much of it.
So they haven't stopped?
They haven't stopped.
Jesus, there's some extracurricular activities going on there.
Well, that's what I said to the police.
you narc. Oh, careful what you... Allegedly.
I just put it on, you can actually go on the police website and you can notify them of a noise complaint. Because I feel like the police have got bigger things to do than worry about a noise complaint.
Your crackhead neighbours?
Yeah. And so I filled out the form and I wrote in there, the party's been going for 24 hours. Yes, they're drinking. And probably after this long, there's some party favours happening as well.
Isn't it? That has to be the most passive-aggressive way to make a complaint.
What, online?
Via email.
Yeah. No, I have gone out there and I've yelled a few times, and it just doesn't make any difference.
Are you secretly just wanting an invite? Do you feel like you're missing out?
No.
Okay.
I secretly want to burn their fucking house to the ground so they piss off.
Just careful, because if there is a fire there, you didn't start it.
I didn't start it. Man, if they keep going with the party, I will be the one that starts the fire. I'll evacuate them first.
Well, I've told you what to do. There is a hack that we used to do as young men that used to walk back from the balcony nightclub back to Tugan.
Yep.
Is there a statute of limitations?
How old were you?
Well, old enough to know better. I was like 23.
Yeah, look, you're 40.
Well, we used to walk back from the balcony nightclub in Coolangatta back to Tugan, and we used to turn all the water off at the mains to the unit blocks. Because out the front of the unit blocks in Tugan, it might have changed now, I'm not sure. Because Tugan's changed a bit.
Been a while.
But we used to go, and there's usually a meter box out the front. You jump down in and you turn the tap off to the unit complex.
It's a great idea.
So I reckon you turn their water off.
I was going to actually go and look for their power box.
No, see, water's more passive-aggressive.
Yeah,
you don't realise. Imagine their guests. One of the guests is going to take a big dirty dump in the toilet, and they're not going to be able to flush it. How embarrassing for them! Like, turn the power off all you want, but nothing's going to be more humiliating for someone to say, "Hey, something's up." Yeah.
Oh my god,
it's perfect.
This is the Brown Park Podcast with Christo and Dion.
So, dudes remembering dates.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Yes.
Because we've had a brief chat about it.
We have, yeah.
I wouldn't have a clue, usually, when my mates' birthdays are.
Yeah, when's my birthday?
Well, it's just been, but is it the 14th?
No.
15th?
No.
16?
No.
13?
No.
12?
Yes.
11? 12?
12.
See?
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't know. When's mine? I think you know now, don't you, because we spoke about it.
I want to say August.
No, June. See, but women are so across it.
Oh, yeah. We had this argument the other day. Not you and me, but
you and your wife.
Our partners, because, I don't know the dates of anybody's birthday.
No. And they hold us to that level of accountability almost, checking in on your friends, checking in on your loved ones on their birthday. The only way that I know when it's a friend's birthday is when Facebook tells me.
I see. I don't go on Facebook, so I miss all the birthdays.
That's half the only reason I know. But do you reckon if we spoke to my wife, she would know everyone's birthday?
Oh, yeah.
Guaranteed. And an anniversary. I mean, I called my parents on the anniversary by accident last week.
Oh, did you?
I'm speaking to Mum. She goes, "Are you calling for a reason?" And I went, "Happy anniversary." Yeah. And the only reason I twigged is because she jogged my memory, and I went, "Okay, there you go."
Okay, so I remember my parents' one. This is ridiculous.
What, your parents' anniversary?
My parents' anniversary is March 1st because it's St. David's Day.
Oh,
and my real name is David, so that's very...
What, 1st of March?
1st of March.
Okay, see, I'll probably remember that now.
Yep.
Sorry, Mum and Dad, when I call you and I'm calling David's parents and Christo's parents instead.
And I remember another mate's birthday only because it's May the 4th, and May the 4th be with you. It's the Star Wars Day.
Yep.
And I remember my wife's birthday because that would just be, stupid not to.
I want to run an experiment right now, right? So we're going to call one of my mates.
Yep.
And see if he knows my birthday.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens. You better answer. You better not scream my call.
Yo.
Hey, mates. Hey, we're just recording an episode as we speak, so you're on the air. There is a question that we've got to ask. Do you know my birth date?
No.
See, good. Okay, that's one check.
Okay, do you know mine?
Do you know Christo's?
No, well, last week.
Yeah, last week.
That's only because you went to the free party.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Well, look, you're validating us as we go, so thank you for your time. See you, mate. Bye. Who else can we call here? We'll try Chris.
All right.
Here's another good mate of mine. Like, these guys are pretty close to me. Like, I've known these guys for 25 years.
Yep.
Hey, mate.
G'day, mates. Hey, you're on the air at the moment. We're just recording a podcast, and the question is, do dudes know other dudes' birth dates? Do you know my birth date?
Oh, I could have a guess.
Have a guess.
29th of June?
Oh, good boy.
Oh, you got it right.
He got it right. Okay, then what's Casey's birthday? What's my wife's birthday? Do you know hers? Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, oh, far out. You are good.
Okay, you're one of the rare ones.
Okay, what about Erskine's? What date's his birthday?
We just spoke to him.
Yeah, we just spoke to Erskine's. He didn't know mine. Son of a bitch, dead to me. He's out of my contact list now. But what's Erskine's birthday?
August.
You know what? Fuck you, Chris. You're proving us wrong. This isn't helping my argument. See ya, bye.
This is the Brown Park Podcast. Now, a word from our sponsors.
Are you one of the many Australians experiencing hair loss? Do you find yourself avoiding the mirror or constantly trying new products that just don't work? Well, there's a solution that's backed by science and delivers real results, and it's Grow Clinics. Grow Clinics is a leading hair transplant clinic with locations across Australia and New Zealand. They perform over 150 hair transplants every single month, and their procedures are led by experienced doctors who are experts in the field of hair restoration. But Grow Clinics isn't just about hair transplants. They offer a wide range of services to combat all stages of hair loss. Whether you're looking for prescription hair care you can use at home or you're interested in specialised non-invasive treatments in clinic, Grow Clinics has you covered. With clinics in Brisbane, Gold Coast, Sydney, Melbourne, Perth and Auckland, New Zealand, there's a Grow Clinic near you. And the best part? They're offering a free consultation for our listeners of the Brown Park Podcast. Just mention our show when you call in to book and you'll be on your way to a fuller, healthier head of hair. So don't wait any longer. Take control of your hair loss journey with Grow Clinics.
Christo and Dion are being viciously mediocre on the Brown Park Podcast.
So I know I'm very late to the party.
For which one? Because you're always late. But
okay, but I'm not blaming me for that one. I'm blaming my wife and kids.
Yeah, because she doesn't appreciate the struggles. Go on.
I recently got a barbecue.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. I have had a barbecue that was a rusted cesspool of rat shit.
You had one of those barbecues that everybody got in the early 2000s, a big 4-burner barbecue with a big-ass hood.
Yeah.
Like the big thing. It may have had a wok. Did it have a wok burner on the side? That used to be the go.
Yeah, didn't I had a wok burner?
It had a wok burner, which nobody ever used, by the way.
No, never.
Yeah. So you had one of those big-ass things, and it was just sitting on your balcony, wasn't it?
Yeah. My parents gave me theirs.
And what sort was that?
It was a Weber.
Oh, the best. Once you go Weber, you never go back.
Really?
They are the best barbecues ever.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored again. Geez, we need more sponsors.
Yeah, I know.
We need good sponsors.
So I got. They gave me this Weber barbecue that they bought, like 2 years ago on Flybuys Points. And they said, we never use it. Do you want it? And I went, sure.
You know what? I'm 50 and I've never cooked a barbecue. So yes.
Oh yeah, I've rarely cooked. I think I can probably count on one hand the amount of times I've cooked on a barbecue. Anyway, got it. Love it.
It's so good.
Love it.
How was your first couple of barbecues, though? Just want to ask.
Well, you know it because you were sitting there guiding me through it on text messaging going, now don't overcook your steak. Guess what I did? I overcooked my steak.
Warm the barbecue up first. And with the Weber, a lot of people don't know, but you have to cook with the lid closed. So you never cook with the lid open.
Why?
Well, because it keeps the heat in.
Okay. But it's a pain in the ass to keep opening it and closing it all.
Well, you don't have to keep opening and closing it. You only meant to turn a steak like twice. I mean, people can have their stories on it, but...
Yeah. I reckon when you hit 50, you're going to end up with a smoker. And you're going to be one of those
Well, I've got a mate that just got a smoker.
Yeah, you're going to be one of those guys that just smokes meat.
Well, I'm not writing it off. I've got a mate that's got it now. He went and spent like, I don't know, $2,000 on this smoker.
Jesus.
But the problem is that the meat's so expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is a thing. Dudes usually go through that phase where if you haven't made hot sauces, you're definitely gonna be smoking meat.
What if you do both?
Well, then you're the walking cliche of the world.
You really are.
I do love a smoked meat. I love it.
Go and get yourself a meat smoker and a Harley, and there you go.
Oh, see, no, you get that. I want to make my own hot sauce. I want to smoke meats and get my Harley.
Yeah.
The threesome. The thruple. Is a thruple 3?
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
What year did you drop out?
What year did I drop out?
Yeah.
I didn't finish year 10. That's fine. Look at me. Look at me soaring great heights when I couldn't even get through school.
Yeah.
So you got this BBQ.
Yep.
This is how little you knew about Weber's and barbecues.
It's my first barbecue. Like I had the shitty old one that I never used. All right, tell the story. Yeah. Go.
So we pick up your barbecue, which we had to disconnect the gas bottle from.
Yeah.
Slide it into the back of my ute.
Yeah.
I don't remember when you asked whether it was on the way back or when we got back to your house and you said, do we need to get coals?
Yeah.
I'm like...
No, I meant coals.
Yeah. Oh, no, you did not. You wish. So you could have got out of it at that point in time, but no. For some reason, I legitimately thought that I needed coals. God, I should have said yes and let's go get some.
I would have blown myself up. But... no, I legitimately, and I will admit, I had no idea. When you said that, I felt like the biggest fucking dish rag. But, yeah, it was true. I actually thought that I needed to go and buy hot coals for the barbecue.
I reckon you'd be one of the select few Aussie men in their 50s that have come late to the barbecue, but I reckon you'll get it and you're going to love it.
Yeah, probably. I've got some steaks in the fridge I want to cook.
I use my barbecue all the time, maybe 3-4 times a week, because I find it easier to clean than I do inside the house. I've got pizza stones for mine, so I do pizzas in it.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you do a pizza in it?
Well, you can buy a Weber pizza stone.
Yeah.
And comes with a plate, so you can do stone baked pizzas in your Weber.
Oh my God.
Cooking with Dion. I've got a bit of a pastime, bit of a hobby that I like.
Yeah.
And that's lowballing people on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh my God, you are the king of this. And you are the fucking king of this. Like, if we go to get anything on Facebook Marketplace or whatever, Sarah's always like, ring down.
Yeah, let me make the dumb offer first.
Yeah.
And I don't know why people get so upset. It's like,
well, it's insulting.
Why? You either say, because I'm in sales, right? So there's a thing called a transactional relationship.
Yeah.
There doesn't have to be any emotion in the transaction. It's just, I'm going to give you this and you're going to give me that. Yep. I'm offering you this for your whatever you're selling.
Yep.
Say yes or no. Don't get upset, because the amount of times that people have said yes to my stupid offer and then I freak out and go, fuck, I've got to go get this thing. But beyond that, I don't mean, because you see people getting all upset, fuck low ballers and that. You know what?
Do they write that on the comments when you go to your Facebook?
Sometimes. Yes. Sometimes people tell you to F off or, they get a bit emotional about it, but I don't take it on. That's fine. You do you.
Well, as you know, I recently got a barbecue and I had to get rid of my old one, the old rust bucket.
See, you use Marketplace for a different thing, and I love this.
I use it to get rid of junk.
You use Facebook Marketplace like your personal tip.
Yes.
Except you don't have to leave the house.
Well, that's the thing. I don't have to cart it to the tip or go anywhere with it. I put the shit up online on Marketplace and people want it.
Because your old piece of shit barbecue,
it was
fucked.
I had one guy come out and he looked at it and he went, fuck, you didn't put that in the photo. And I went, I did say that it was pretty crappy. And he said, yeah, but not that crappy. And I went, okay, well, I'll adjust it.
Yeah, well, adjust the ad. I mean, you can't adjust the price because it's
adjusted
nothing.
The ad. And then said, this is a big piece of shit. Have a look at it. Great for scrap metal. If you want it, come and get it. It's yours. I got offers.
Well, because when you put it up there, you told me you were going to do it. I said, no one's going to take that.
Yeah.
Like, that's a pain in the ass, big ass piece of shit.
Yeah.
But you got rid of it. You proved me wrong.
Guy came around, lifted it up, took it apart.
Off you went.
Put in the back of the thing. And I said, and my wife said, what are you going to use this rusty piece of shit for? And he said, I've got the exact same barbecue at home and I need it for spare parts because they don't make it anymore. He said, so I'm just going to take a door off here and take a hinge off here and do this and do that and put it all back together.
I was going to say, because it looked pretty bad, so I don't know.
It was awful.
So what parts is he going to use, like the knob?
Probably. The knobs were okay.
You kept them polished, didn't you?
It's become one of those things. I've gotten rid of so much shit. We got rid of half a bag of concrete.
What? Of concrete powder?
Yeah.
Jesus, some people will take anything, won't they?
Put up there. Put up half a bag of concrete. Want it? Yep. Got it straight away.
Jesus, I advertised something for free a while back. I can't remember what it was. What was it? But I had that many people wanting it that I got confused with who I said could have it. And then I had somebody knock on my door and say, I'm here to pick up. I can't remember what it was. And they said, we're here to pick it up. I said, what's your name? And the name wasn't the name that I thought that I gave it to. But I'd said yes to 2 people, and somebody had driven down from Eagleby to pick up this, whatever it was. I said, no, you can't have it. I promised it to somebody else. So they cracked it and drove off.
Yeah.
And then somebody else came and picked it up. But people will take absolutely anything.
Yeah, and proven. Shitty.
An old big piece of metal. See, that's what I was concerned about. It's so big and heavy. Is it worth someone's time and effort? But clearly it is.
Clearly it was.
This is the Brown Park Podcast. Now, a word from our sponsors.
Let's talk about something that affects millions of us, and it's sometimes subtle and other times not so subtle. It's hair loss. It can be a real knock to confidence, right? Well, if you're looking for real solutions, not just empty promises, you need to know about Grow Clinics. Grow Clinics are leading the way in hair restoration, performing over 150 hair transplants every month. That tells you something right there. These aren't just technicians. Procedures are led by experienced doctors who are specialists in their field. And they're not just about transplants either. Grow Clinics understands that hair loss is complex, so they offer a comprehensive range of treatments. Think everything from prescription hair care you can use at home to cutting-edge, non-invasive in-clinic procedures. They tailor solutions to your specific needs. And the best part, they're conveniently located. Whether you're in Brisbane, the Gold Coast, Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, or even across the ditch in Auckland, New Zealand, there's a Grow Clinics near you. They're so confident in what they do, they're offering a free consultation to listeners of the Brown Park Podcast, so just mention us when you book and you'll get expert advice with no obligation. So if you're ready to take control of your hair health and your confidence, visit Grow Clinics. It's time to rediscover your best self.
This is the Brown Park Podcast with Christo and Dion. Now back to the show.
I wanted to unpack a moment that we were talking about over the Christmas break.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know whether you want to go down this road.
I'm sure I do. I'm an open book.
I don't know where you are.
Oh, okay. Well, Jesus. If I'm concerned about it, what is this subject? Go. What is it?
Your upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't discussed it on the podcast yet, or have we? The great.
The great how I fell in.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have or not. But for those new to the show,
this is
difference in parenting too, though.
Yeah. You're also a fairly naughty kid.
I was unbeknownst to me, I had ADHD, but I was a shit of a kid. No doubt about it. I would argue with anything, and my mum and dad used to say, I would even argue with myself.
Yeah,
which I would do from time to time. I can actually remember it.
I don't know whether you want to talk about it because it's probably more personal than what you want to get. But there was a time you were sent away.
There was, yes. Well, because I was such a shit. Well, are we talking about the great, or are we talking about when I got sent away?
Well, we'll start on that one, and then we'll talk about the great.
All right. So my mum and dad moved to Australia with pretty much nothing, just them two. They must have been like early 20s. And then from New Zealand, yep. from New Zealand, choice. So they come here, and neither of them knew anybody or whatever. But look, long story short, I was a shit of a kid, and Mum couldn't handle it because Dad was working, 15 hours a day.
Yeah,
Mum was young, had 2 kids. I was, 5 or 6 when this happened, when I got sent away, and my brother was 2 years old, so he was 8. Mm-hmm. So look, yeah, Mum at the time couldn't put up with my shit anymore, so I had to go stay at my auntie's for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Which was
just 1 week.
I think it was a week.
Okay.
Obviously as kids, look, it could have been 2 days, but but it felt
could have been an hour.
It was definitely a week. It was. I want to say it was a full school week.
Okay.
So part of it was I would finish school and I would see my brother go home with my mum, and then I'd have to go home with my auntie, which was shit.
And why would your auntie be able to do any better than what your mum could?
Well, I was a different kid for other people.
I guess you are, aren't you, in that kind of situation? Like I've seen it with my kids. They come home and do stuff they would never do.
No, that's it.
House, yeah.
For sure. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's a total lack of...
No, it's comfortability. Because
comfortability, that's more point. I was going to say, is it a lack of respect? But it's not. It's you're more comfortable.
Well, you're comfortable in your own surroundings.
Yeah. So, it was one of those things. I got sent away and had to go to my auntie's, and she... I would have been good as gold for her, but I would phone home and say, can I come home tomorrow? And Mum would be like, not yet. Maybe the next day.
Can you remember how that made you feel? Because
it was shit. Yeah, it was shit. I mean, I look back at that period of time specifically, and there was there's a definitely level of sadness in that.
Yeah.
But I've spoken to my counsellor about it, and like I always go into bat for mum and dad for that point because they were young.
Yeah.
Moved to Australia with no one. My dad was working these crazy hours, and then she had this shit of a kid that she couldn't get away from. So she needed a break at the time. But it was one of those things. I think now maybe people are more aware of how to handle that behaviour. I'm not sure.
So, yeah.
But yeah, no.
I know there's something that the parents used to threaten. I'm going to send you away.
Yeah, well, mine followed through. and then you would ask, did that improve my behaviour? I think it did for a couple of days, and you just
fall back into old habits again.
Because I was undiagnosed ADHD. My brain worked differently to everybody else.
Yeah. And what did you feel like at your auntie's? Were you just like, did you have a space there, or
no? Well, I was sleeping in my cousin's room.
Okay.
No. So it was total foreign. I mean, it's like it was an extended school camp where it's okay, but it's not home.
Yeah. Did you cry?
Yeah, I think I did. I would have cried in bed.
Yeah.
I didn't let anyone know my feelings, but yeah, no, I definitely cried.
You know, the saddest part of this whole story is your wife Casey's tried to get hold of your auntie for years, trying to
keep flogging me off. Yeah. But she doesn't need to do it now because I'll just go stay somewhere else. I'll come and crash at your place and be perfect for you.
So the other thing I wanted to talk about is, like, in the last episode of last year, you talked about how you almost died. You have several of those stories throughout the year. We're not going to unpack them all now.
No, there's a whole episode in one.
But there was another moment in your childhood where you almost died.
Yes. Well, so this is when we were in Sydney. So around the same time as I got sent away, almost got sent away for good, almost died.
Yeah.
But yeah, my brother, because I was 5 or 6, my brother was 8, and we'd just take off up the road and go play in the park with other friends and whatever. But there was this big drain in the sort of off to the left of the park, and it was full of water, had concrete sides and stuff like that. And I was looking in, and I slipped in, couldn't swim, and luckily enough, my brother was there, who managed to fish me out. I could still physically see, like, me splashing into muddy water, reaching out from my brother's hand, and he pulled me out.
And you went past that grate recently.
Yeah, took a photo of it. Now the drain, now they've put a grate over the top of it so kids can't fall in.
That's this day and age. They cover up everything, so there's no risk of anything. But back then look, it was natural selection back when we were growing up. If you were stupid enough to fall in the drain, well, the world may be a better place, you dumbass. God.
I don't know. It puts a level of accountability. But the worst thing about all that? I went home and got in trouble for going home wet and dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was that day and age as well, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah. I was like, Mum, because I remember going home crying. I fell in the grate. Scott pulled me out.
I almost died.
I don't care. What are you so dirty and wet for?
Yeah.
Like I say, in Mum and Dad's defence, I was a shit. Have you almost died? At any point in your life? Has there been a moment where you've gone, shit, this is it, I'm done?
No.
Really?
Not that I can recall.
Wow. You've lived a pretty safe.
You're
cautious.
I am very cautious.
No, actually not even cautious. You have respect for consequences.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's good.
Yeah, but
it's not a bad thing.
But it has also done me a disservice as well, because I was always too scared to do anything.
Mm.
So when I was younger, I was always too scared to do anything wrong.
Yep.
I didn't want to disappoint parents. Didn't want to put myself in danger. Like, I didn't go on a roller coaster until I was like 24, 25.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
And it took a lot of effort to get to that point.
Yeah, right. Was that fears that were embedded by your mum or dad? What, were they cautious little pedals?
Yes. They were very cautious. They never did roller coasters. They barely did planes. They got offered a free trip to Hawaii, I think, and they didn't do it because they didn't want to do the flight.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
They don't like flying.
See, that's learned behaviours there.
Yeah. So I used to be terrified of flying.
Were you?
Absolutely petrified of it.
And what about skateboarding and stuff like that? So you weren't the guy that would push the limits and try and do a backflip, or?
I used to love my BMX. Loved my BMX.
So you do jumps and stuff like that? You were
do all that kind of stuff.
Good. Yeah.
So there was never a fear of that, but just in a lot of our other aspects I was always way too cautious. And it was something that I always said with Sarah, that when we eventually had kids, I don't want to pass on my inbuilt fears to them.
And how's it working out?
Right, it's going really well.
You're doing it?
We actually took them to one of the theme parks, Movie World. And my boy Jesse has just come of age where he's big enough to ride the roller coasters.
The big ones?
The big ones.
Oh, nice.
And he was like, out of my way, here we go. And he did them all and loved them. Every single one that he could get on was on it. Did not care. He was...
But you don't go on them, do you?
No, I got
back.
them. Yeah,
you do?
No,
okay.
I went on them. But I had always said to Sarah, I don't want to pass on those irrational fears. Like, I don't want them to be scared of flying, because flying is a miracle.
Well, especially living in Australia, like everything, you have to fly anywhere if you want to go somewhere decent.
And I didn't want to pass on an irrational fear of roller coasters. If they're scared of doing the roller coasters afterwards, great, then that's fine.
Just give it a crack.
But give it a crack. Like my middle child doesn't really like some of them, doesn't like them all.
Yeah.
But she's given them a crack, and that's the thing. I want you to discover it, whereas just too scared to set foot on it. There's a classic moment in my family where we were at SeaWorld when I was younger, and I wanted to ride the corkscrew.
Oh, the old corkscrew. That was a good roller coaster.
Australia's first triple loop roller coaster.
Yep.
And I had always wanted to ride it, but didn't have the courage to do it. I went there with my cousins, and my cousin's like, we're going to do it, we're going to do it, we're going to do it. And my mum's gone, all right, you go and do it. I must have been
21?
Like, 36. No, I think I was probably like 11 or 12. And she said, you go and do it. I'll sit here and wait. And so I went up, lined up, went to get on. And at that point at SeaWorld, they had a chicken gate. And it was a little gate on the side.
Yeah, the chicken coop. Yep.
It had a chicken
on
it. And you could take the chicken.
Yeah, I remember.
And I got to the end and went, no, I can't do it. Yep. Chicken.
Did you?
Walked through the gate. And my mum was waiting for me, and she goes, oh, well done, congratulations, here's a T-shirt. And she bought me the T-shirt saying, I rode the corkscrew.
Oh, but not really.
But I cheated. No.
Oh, well, look. And plus, but there is a level where you have to honour yourself as well. Because what if you went there and had a terrible time? I don't know. There is a level of, you've still got to honour and be conscious, because that's where peer pressure comes in. Do it.
But also they could see that I wanted to do it, but I didn't have, but I always had the inbuilt insecurity, because my parents wouldn't do those kind of things.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I had always wanted to get over it. I didn't want to instill that fear in my children, and I haven't, which is
good job.
Success.
Look at you, king of parenting.
Go that far.
You know, we've all fucked our children up to a certain level inadvertently.
I've always said that I'll get my kids therapy from like 16, 17, get rid of all the baggage that we've put on you by accident.
Fair call.
And then go into adulthood.
With your shit sorted.
Yeah, with your shit sorted out.
Blame us when you're 80 or something, when we're gone.
Yeah. But get it all sorted out now, because I think our generation learnt therapy too. Like,
we're late to the party on that now.
Yeah. But I think our kids have the benefit of therapy to get it all out now. So go to therapy when you're 16. Blame me for everything, because I probably fucked up. And
be on your merry little way and succeed in life.
Exactly. Good job.
Christo and Dion are being viciously mediocre on the Brown Park podcast.
So after this episode, we have some great guests coming up.
We do. We're going to continue doing these little
viciously mediocre sections where we just talk shit and shoot breeze.
But yeah, we've got some pretty good guests lined up for this year.
Yeah, it's going to be some fun. As always, thank you to our sponsors, Grow Clinics. You know those guys?
Yep, love them. Thank you very much. And make sure you subscribe and write nice comments. That'd be lovely.
All bad ones. You know, we've spoken before. I don't mind the bad ones, because I'll go toe-to-toe with you. You can't take the good without the bad.
I'm more of it,
You're a bit more sensitive on it, but you know what? Bring it.
All the details can be found at brownpark.com.au. We will see you next episode. Thank you very much.
Scratch out.
Why are you happy?
Because I don't